Hey guys, it's Shy and welcome back. For today's video, I'm going to show you how I do my everyday makeup routine using Maskcara Beauty. If you don't know what Maskcara Beauty is, it is actually makeup products that I sell now and I'm a part of the brand. And it is these little cream palettes. I actually can color match you and customize the palette for your skin tone and needs. You get a concealer color, a foundation color, a contour color, and then you can customize it with either a lip and cheek, a bronzer color, an illuminator. It's really endless. So we have a bunch of different colors, and these are just a few. These aren't all of them that we put together to really build your face. But I'm just gonna show you guys how I use it, how I incorporate it with the rest of my makeup routine, and how I do my full face that I just wear every single day. It's my winged liner lashes look that you see in literally every Instagram video. So I've already primed my face. I prime using the Pores Be Gone matte primer from First Aid Beauty. I really like First Aid Beauty's primer because it is suitable for sensitive skin, and I am very acne prone, but this one is also good for oily skin. They have a hydrating one as well, but I have pretty oily skin, and all these cream products actually work really well for oily skin, so that's really exciting too. So my personal palette is this little one. I have this larger one too that I use as well, but this one I am going to first start by grabbing my little buffing brush from Maskcara Beauty. These are the two-sided ones. They're nice because you do get more for your money. You get two brushes in one. I use the smaller side, and I'm going to be dipping into the color Candlelit, and that's the color that I use for underneath my eyes. So I'm going to go right underneath here. And I go right here, pack some right here, underneath this eye, basically any place that we want it brighter in the center of the face, because this is going to be what would be our concealer. And then I like to drag it down the nose, make sure this whole area is covered. And the way that I go back in, which is what I'll show you guys in a little bit too, is I go back in with my sponge too and a little bit more product because I have a lot of like acne scarring and hyperpigmentation in my face, so I need a little bit more coverage than the average person. But that's what's nice about these products is you can really customize them to either be super natural and easy, or if you need to build them up in certain places. Next, I'm going to go in with a 30-second hack brush. This is my favorite brush. If you're going to get any brush from the Maskcara brand, I recommend this one. It has the pointed side, so you can really use it to apply product very easily. It can get in those, sharp corners for contouring, and then it has the buffing side as well, and it's really, really soft. But I am going to take my foundation color, which is Sandy right now. I'm going to put that all down here. And I like to cover up, that alone covers up so much of the scarring, which is amazing. And it doesn't add any extra texture to my face either. And then I'm gonna put the foundation color on the sides of my nose. Now there's different ways to do this. A lot of people will apply their contour after their highlight and then fill in the gaps with the foundation. I've just found that this works a little bit better for me because the amount of scarring and hyperpigmentation on my face, I do need that foundation color underneath the contour to just blend it out a little bit better and cover more of that. So, you can really customize it to what you need. Next, I am going to take my Moda 235 contour brush. It's this little flat guy, and I'm going to dip into my contour color, which is indigo. And I am going to put this just a little bit right there. I don't like to do too much here because I always go back in with like bronzers and everything. And then I like to just stipple it through there. And then I'm gonna go right underneath the jaw. The jaw is so important. It really helps slim out the face and it makes such a big difference. Fabulous. So next, what I do is you're gonna blend out your contour first if you're gonna use a brush, so that gets done. And then you're gonna blend out the lighter portions of your face going into your foundation color. So what I like to do is just small circular motions to blend this out. You can also blend the entire face out with a sponge too. I just like blending out my contour with the brush, and then I drag it down my neck as well. And just just blending away. That's with the contour all blended out with the brush. Next, I use our Perfector sponge. This is the softest sponge ever. The ColourPop sponge is really good too, Real Technique sponge, but this one I'm freaking obsessed with. And I like that like it still has the traditional like beauty blender shape, if that makes sense. So like you still have that pointed part to get underneath the eye. What I like to do though, since I did wash this a little bit, I mean, obviously not too heavily because there's still some on there, but I like to dip a little bit into my highlight color, so I'm not going in with a completely clean sponge because then it can also pick up and move product around. And then I'm gonna start tapping out the lightest portions of my face. And I like these creams because they blend so well. But it's also like in one little quad, it makes traveling so much easier because you don't need a separate concealer, a separate foundation bottle. Like, this is so much easier. Oh my gosh. And then now that the lighter portions are all blended out, I'm gonna blend out that sandy color and just tapping it with the sponge. Make sure you don't drag your sponge around. The best thing to do is tapping motions. And there we are. Now, see, I have a little bit that does show through, so I like to go back in. I'm gonna load my sponge up with Sandy, and I'm going to just tap over those areas where I have a little bit more hyperpigmentation, and it's gonna help cover it up, but it's still gonna help the skin look really nice and natural, which is what's so important to me. Because I'm at this stage where it's like, I don't really wanna wear a bunch of crazy caked up makeup. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. I just am like over it. I did so many years of like intense makeup that I just wanna look natural and have it look like natural skin. So like the skin still looks really nice. It doesn't get overly cakey. Like, for example, if you like load up like the Urban Decay foundation too much, you're gonna look a little cakey and crazy, but this one doesn't do that, and I love it so much. And I'm just gonna build a little bit more up of the candlelit color just right under my eyes. So I tend to have a lot of redness that pokes through. So what I do is you always wanna make sure that you blend out underneath your eyes so that you don't have any creases and your smile lines before you set. I take my Moda 255 Accentuate brush, which is a more dome shade. It's gonna fit under the eyes so beautifully. And this is the loose Maybelline Fit Me powder in Fair. And I'm gonna put it right underneath my eye. And I'm gonna start building up this powder in all of the spaces that I highlighted. And this is gonna help with a little bit more brightening. It's gonna help with a little bit more blurring effect, and it's gonna help it set my oily skin. Now, if you don't have oily skin, you can completely, oh my God, you can see it flying everywhere. And you can completely avoid this step. My mom has very dry skin and completely did not set her face, and her makeup lasted all day. And it was so, so pretty on her still. So this is only if you have oilier skin. I do recommend to set it. And then I'm putting this all over the nose. Now, normally I do go back in with the Maskcara Beauty shadow color and do my nose, but lately my nose has been a lot more oily than normal, so I'm gonna go in with my powder contour today, but I will show you what shadow looks like. Because it is, just this week has been like the most intense heat wave. It was 105 out today, so the oils are like unreal right now. Like, oh my God. Is it October yet? I'm so ready for Halloween. I'm so over summer. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder in the shade 130. This is what works best for me in my skin tone. And I like to take it on a Moda 141 blend brush. Now this is a flat top, basically foundation brush, but I think it applies powder really, really beautifully. So I dip it in and I like to press it all over. Now again, if you don't have that oily of skin, you do not need to go in with this much powder. I just like to set my whole face because my whole face gets so oily and it's so disrespectful. Like, I did not ask for this. Brows are on, feeling a lot better about everything. I'm now gonna take that same flat top brush and just kind of gently brush off my bake while also still kind of pressing it into the skin. And this just helps so much, just again to pack it in there. So I did want to let you guys know too, normally on days when it's not so aggressively hot, I do put a lot more creams on my face. So we have this bronzer called Bella that I will actually put on my face. If you head over to my IG stories, I do have a video on there where I am using more of the cream. Just again, this week with it being so hot, you do have to customize things to fit your skin's needs. If you have dry skin, you won't have to change it at all. And then this is the shadow shade that I use to hollow out my nose, which I will also show on the Instagram stories. But again, today we are going to be using powder because it is so hot, and I'm going to show you guys how versatile it is. And sorry for that weird light. I'm obviously not in my beauty space anymore because I've been staying with my mom, and she has this like touch light over here, and I keep touching it and it keeps putting a yellow glare, and I'm just like, please, for the love of God, stop. So first thing I'm gonna do is my eyes. So we're gonna take a break on the face, and I'm first just gonna take a neutral skin colored shadow. I'm gonna use this color that I basically hit pan on out of my Beauty Bay palette, and I put this all over. So next I use my Natasha Denona Gold palette. This palette is very expensive, so for the same colors that I use in here, you could probably find them in any other palette. This is just what I use every day because one, I own it and I spent a hell of a lot of money, so best believe I'm gonna use it. So the two shades that I'm gonna be using is this shade and this one that darkens it just a tiny bit. If you can invest in this palette, I recommend it just because I think the colors work with everyday really, really well and are just so pretty on just about any skin tone. So I'm gonna take my, what is this one? My Moda 430 crease. I'm gonna first go into that lighter color, and I like to keep it just right at the crease. And I like these Moda brushes because the way that they're shaped, it also diffuses it so well, so that we're not gonna have that harsh line. This is more of like a soft glam look that I do every day. I like my makeup more neutral because then it goes with everything I'm wearing, which is always all black anyway, but it's fine. And then I'm gonna build that color up just a tiny bit more. So just keeping that angle and not bringing it down too far, just going back and forth and fluffing it out all the way out to the tail of my brow, because I do a wing liner every day, and bringing that eyeshadow out really does help connect the wing and just bring it all together. Like, it not necessarily always looks weird, but if your shadow doesn't go all the way out and like it stops here and you have a wing, like it can just look like it doesn't blend together seamlessly. So that's what I make sure to do with mine, is just bring it all the way out to wherever my brow tail is that day. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, you know, just whatever happens. Next, I am going to grab this small little brush that I have. This is a Profusion brush. I've been using this forever. I'm gonna dip into that slightly darker color, and I like to first pack it on the outer corner like so, and then gently bring it up and then grab a little bit more color. And I'm barely grabbing color, guys, because I do like this very diffuse. And I'm gonna start just going back and forth in the crease with this one, making sure not to drag it up, and then gonna start slowly blending it outwards as well. And this is just gonna help deepen it. But since it's not too much darker than that first color we used, it's gonna just be a little bit of a gradient, nothing too crazy. After I have that color down, I like to try to get off all the color from my first fluffy brush, and I just like to go over the edges again just to make sure that they're really nice and diffused and there are no harsh lines anywhere. Just like that, pretty easy. And then I like to take this little brush that I have from Peaches and Cream. It's a PC22. I'm gonna go back into that very first lighter color, and I just put it right underneath my eye along the lash line, just to give that a little bit of depth too. If you're in a hurry as well, I recommend to just putting some bronzer in the crease and underneath the eye as well. Same bronzer that we're gonna put on the face, because that'll also tie it all in for a soft glam look. Next, I'm gonna take my sponge, and I just like to gently tap it so it's gonna clean up that line. I don't like using tape because it can pull on the skin, so I think that this is just a much easier way to clean them up. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Tati Beauty palette, and I am going to also use this flat AOA Studios E131 brush, basically a concealer brush. and I'm gonna dip into the matte Aura shade. I use this to almost give like a cut crease style effect. It's really pigmented and it works really well for that. So what I'm gonna do is just find my crease, kind of go over with it, and that's what we're gonna fill in. If you want like a true cut crease look, of course you can go in with your concealer, but I'm just doing a more diffuse look because that from here alone already makes such a big difference. I am going to take the brush that I was using for the darker color, and I'm gonna actually dip into Soothe and just kind of blend this a little bit more. Now I could go back in with the first color again, but I mean Soothe is right in front of me. So, and you could get these colors from literally any palette again too. These are very easy neutral colors just to have a basic little glam eye moment. Now for the wing, I am going to use the NYX Epic Ink Liner. This one's a good dupe for the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner or Kat Von D Vegan, whatever the hell her brand or was once her brand is called. I don't know, I couldn't keep up with all of that. So the only thing I don't like about this is, I don't know if you guys can tell, but like the fibers do separate sometimes. So I just like to make sure that I keep a backup. This one's not too bad though, I can still use it. So let me show you how I do my wing liner. So I go from the inside of my eye and I draw the line all the way over first to just start my base. And then I'm going to find my outer corner. And then I just bring it all the way across. That's it. Lashes are on, they make such a big difference. Next, I'm just gonna show you how I contour my nose really quick. I have this old Too Faced Cocoa Contour Powder palette, and you can't find it anywhere, it's like discontinued, but I use the cooler tone shade, and this is an AOA Studios High Def E110 brush, and I just go right down the sides of my nose real lightly, up into the brow, and same thing on the other side. Bring that one in a little bit slightly more just because my nose is not symmetrical, but like whose nose is? And then I go underneath, and that's gonna cut off the bottom of the nose. And then I find a little spot on the tip of my nose and I just draw a little line right over, and that gives like that little like button nose type effect. I don't know, it just helps. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my sponge and just gently pat to make sure that those lines aren't too harsh. That's it. Now for bronzer today, since I am not using my Bella bronzer, I am going to use my Fenty bronzer, and I am going to just go in with this angled Morphe brush that I have. I like to start on my forehead on both sides, and right above where like contour would be. I like to hit my nose, and then I like to hit my chin and underneath, and then drag it onto the neck. And that's just gonna help to blend this all together. And then I like to also then grab this angled brush. It's just a little bit softer than the other one. The other one, she's been through some shit. So this one's softer. This is the Moda 120 angle brush. It also works for that, but I just like to tap it and just go right on the top of my nose, and that's just gonna give it a little bit of color. And just kind of re-go over all of this just to make sure that it is nice and blended. For blush, I like to use the NARS Orgasm, and this is a Lexi 512 small contouring brush just to make sure that I am keeping my blush where I want it and it doesn't go down too far. I like to put it, and then I also like to do just a tip of the nose and then chin, just the very underneath. I don't like to do that blush all across. I mean, I might try it one of these days. If you guys want a tutorial and do like the fake freckles with like the blush across, let me know. I've never done it, but like I feel like we could figure it out together. You feel me? Okay, I am going to be going in with my Fresh and Frosted palette. I'm going to be using this cooler shade right here. I really, really love the highlights in my Maskcara Beauty, but when I first bought this palette, I was way more tanned. I've been getting tattoos, and My tattoo artist will literally kill me if I'm out in the sun, and I see him like all the time. So I'm avoiding the sun like the plague. And this is just gonna be a little bit too dark for my skin right now. I had the shade Georgia, but they are freaking stunning. But see how that's gonna be a little bit too dark? You wanna make sure that your highlight is lighter, because the whole point is that we're lifting the face with it. So when the sun hits it, like see how the foundation almost has a natural glow to it anyway? We're just gonna hit a tiny bit. And I'm gonna use my AOA Studios E127, just a couple little taps, and just on that high point of the face, just so when the sun hits it or light hits it, we're gonna get that nice healthy skin glow. I like to go right above the brows, and then I like to do just a little bit on the nose, and that's gonna help with the nose contour too. And then I am using, this is a Moda 441 pointed liner brush, and I'm going to use this for the inner corner, same color. And when I'm more tanned, I use the other color for the inner corner too. I just think it helps the face to look really seamless, to have all the colors be the same. So again, this is more of like a soft glam look. And just hitting those inner corners ever so slightly, just so when there's a little bit of light right there, it helps to open up the eye a little bit. Just add a little bit more dimension, nothing crazy. And then for lips, I'm gonna first go in with my Milk, where is it? Right here. My Milk Cherry. I love this. This is from Maskcara Beauty. This is like our version of like a chapstick. It is the best, and it makes my lips feel amazing, and especially if you do a lot of liquid lipsticks, that's gonna be your best friend. It's gonna save your lips. So I'm gonna go in with my L'Oreal Matte It Lip Liner. I just like this because the lipstick shade that I use is pretty light, so this is gonna at least help us have a lip shape, if that makes sense, through the light liquid lipstick. And I don't really overline my lips, I just line them as is. And then I'm gonna go in with my Jeffree Star I'm Nude liquid lipstick. And I like to brush it off so I don't use too much of it. And going in the center, I like to go all over. And then going all over the rest. And then I'll dip back in just a tiny bit and make sure I focus it on the center. Makes the lips just look a little bit more pouty. And since I barely put any, it'll kind of help blend it all over. And then to lock everything all in, we're almost done. And obviously, if I was not like explaining this whole tutorial, I would whip through this. Like I do my makeup in like 10 to 15 minutes now. 15 minutes is long. Like it's the best. I'm gonna go in with our Stay Setting Spray. This I really, really like. It smells like coconuts, and I think it's still in stock. I hope it's still in stock. Another good setting spray, of course, is the Urban Decay setting spray. I've even gone and just not set this makeup and everything's been fine too, but let's go in. Guys, and that is it for my everyday makeup look. So this is everything that I use literally every single day, except for, of course, those couple steps that I switched up. But I love this makeup so much. It feels amazing on my skin. It lasts all day. And I just wish I would have found it sooner, because my skin is the most clear that it has been in forever. And I think it's because these products are so natural. They're not vegan. I do want to throw that out there. They are cruelty free, but Maskcara Beauty isn't vegan because they do use beeswax. But other than that, there are no other animal products in there. But I do want to throw that out there for anybody who is vegan and doesn't want to use any product with bees in it. This does have beeswax. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little tutorial on just my everyday makeup look. I've been getting questions on it. I'm going to do a lot more videos with Maskcara Beauty, especially next week. I'll use the full face of creams when it is not 105 degrees outside, because with my oily skin, again, that is a flippin' nightmare. If you want to get color matched, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Chi-Town right there, which is my gamer tag. I did switch it up from Glam Time Shy to my gamer tag just because it'd be a little bit easier for people to find me. But please DM me and I can color match you. I've already color matched some of you guys and that has been so fun to talk to everybody. I can color match you with Maskcara Beauty with just a no makeup selfie and natural light. It's very easy. I don't have to see you in person to do that, which I know sounds crazy, but I swear I will get your undertones right. Like so far everybody that I've matched has been a perfect match, and I do actually partner with my team too. If I'm like, you know, debating between a couple colors, I do have a team that I can send your picture to and they'll say, you know, oh, I think you should pick this color over this color. So we really do try to color match you the best. And with Maskcara Beauty too, if you don't like it, you have 30 days to return it. So you're not stuck with anything, but it's really affordable. Like I think it's like $56-ish for the quad, and that replaces so much of your makeup, so it's really cheaper in the long run, and the pans last a few months too. But anyways guys, I hope that answered some of your guys' questions, and again, be looking for more videos on Maskcara Beauty in the future. Hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Bye.